welcome back to another episode of Breaking Character. My name is Jordan-Paige, and I'm the show creator and host. Thank you so much for tuning into this show today. Words. I am so excited to have Ryan KAPLAN on the show this week. He is such a multi-talented creator, and really, I'm so excited to talk to him. So, Ryan KAPLAN, 13, is a prolific performer, having been in over 50 plays, musicals, ballets, and films. Some of his favorite onstage roles have included Jack, Into the Woods, New Hampshire Theatre Award nomination, Buddy in Elf the Musical Jr., The Artful Dodger in Oliver, and Laurie in Little Women. He has also amassed several short film credits through summer intensives. He manages his own youth theater group, the Fletcher Family Theater, which has produced 11 virtual, live-streamed, and safe in-person shows since the pandemic began. He has served as a director, choreographer, technical designer, and producer for many of the shows. At school, he is a high honors student playing the violin and clarinet in the orchestra and band, respectively. The motto he is currently living by is, "Life's not about waiting out the storm, it's about learning to dance in the rain." He is so excited to be on Breaking Character. So without further ado, let's head to Zoom. Hey everyone, I am so excited to be here today with Ryan KAPLAN. Ryan, how are you doing today?
I'm doing amazing. How are you?
I am good, thank you. You know, this is actually, even though yours is going up later in the month of October, this is the first interview I've done back after the hiatus. So it's kind of, I might be a little rusty, but I am super excited to be back. And I'm so excited to have you on the show. You are so multi-talented, and I'm just so excited to get to talk to you. So let's start this off with a game of 2 truths and a lie. So I'm going to attempt to guess which one's the lie is. We'll see if I can get it after a month off. Who knows? So whenever you're ready.
All right. So I have 3 things to tell you. One of which is that I have a twin brother.
Okay.
The second of which is that I love football.
All right.
And the third is that I waited out a hurricane in the lobby of a glass Marriott hotel in Kansas City while eating chicken fingers.
Okay. Soon as you said waiting out a hurricane, I was like, I'm sorry, what? And then you said the word glass hotel, and I went, good, lovely. Okay. Oh, wow. All right. I'm going to guess that the first one is the lie and that you don't have a twin brother.
I actually do.
Darn it. So that's super cool though. Twins are, I guess it's because I am not a twin. So anytime I see twins, I'm like, that's so cool. So which one's the lie?
I hate football.
Okay.
I'm not a sports ball person.
I love how you just called it sports ball, because that is exactly what I call it. I'm like, I don't know what sport it is, but that thing that you have to run for, no thanks.
Exactly.
No, I feel that. I am not. So tell me about this hurricane experience. How did this happen?
So it was actually a tornado now that I'm thinking about it. But so I went to the Destination Imagination Global Finals in Kansas City, Missouri. We were there for all of 3 days, and there managed to be, so we were in the Missouri part of Kansas City. And there was a tornado in the Kansas part of Kansas City that was getting close to the Kansas City Convention Center where we were. And so we were in the basement of the Kansas City Convention Center, which is where I'd like to be if there's a tornado. It sounds like a safe place to me. Apparently not. So they evacuated the whole building and said, go to this glass hotel that you're staying in. And so the tornado was thankfully like far enough away that we didn't get any like violent storm
damage or any. Yeah.
There was a lot of flooding, and we saw traffic cones like sliding down the road. It was not good.
Oh my goodness. Well, that's a wild experience. And I'm glad you could use it for something in this scenario. That's a great, am I lying or am I not? Oh my gosh. Okay. So how did you get started in the industry? You know, what got you interested in the entertainment business?
So I started doing like local plays and musicals when I was about 8 years old. And it's kind of been like a crazy spiral of events that's kind of led me to where I am now. But my parents had both been involved in performing, more my dad than my mom, but both of them. And I also had a lot of friends who were into theater. And as soon as I got started, I knew that it was what I wanted to do.
I love that. That's awesome too, especially hearing that, your parents had been involved and that, it kind of you got to see a little bit of it and then friends and things like that. That's awesome. Also 8. That's a really that's pretty young to start. So
Yeah.
wow.
It was my first thing that I ever did theater related. I did an April vacation camp at this theater company. They do like professional shows, but they also have like camps for kids around us.
Mhm.
And it was, I just remember it being the coolest thing to be on this big stage that I've seen like these crazy performances on, and being like, oh my God, I'm on that stage now.
Yes.
It was magical.
I love that for you. I remember when I was in, and it wasn't a huge stage, but when I went from 8th grade to 9th grade and we had performed our 8th grade musical, which was Shrek. We performed it on the high school stage where I was going to be the next year. And I remember that in my 9th grade year, stepping on that stage and being like, now I'm actually like, I go to this school. But yeah, so Shrek, that was a show. That was certainly a show. So I know you also play a few instruments, which is epic. When did you learn to play? What's your favorite part about those, knowing those instruments?
Yeah, so I play the violin and the clarinet in my district. We're fortunate enough to have an orchestra and a band that are free to participate in, which is really cool.
That's
And
awesome.
they also like teach you how to play the instruments in the beginning levels, which is really sweet.
That is
Um,
so cool.
yeah, and so I've been playing violin, I think, for 6 years, and clarinet for 5. And yeah, I think my favorite part about it is the like camaraderie and community of the band kids. Like we, outside of band class and like extracurricular bands, like we'll sit together at lunch, we'll like help each other on homework. It's like a really cool community of people to be around.
I love that. Also, super cool that they teach you that because I know, like, here it's kind of like you get into band and they're like, figure it out. And you're like, I've never played this before in my life. I was in band in 8th grade to get out of doing PE because I wasn't going to do it. So I did choir and band, and I was like, percussion. And I was like, great, I can hit a drum, I can follow those beats. And then they put me on xylophone. And I went, I can't read this. I can read choir music. I can't read this. So I just faked it. Or I like memorized where it went instead of the actual music. So that's really cool that they teach you how to play. Also, I love violin so much, and I need to start teaching myself how to play. Someday, we'll see if that happens. So here's my wild card question. Completely, out of the blue. Or I guess not completely. If you could be a part of any show on Broadway, off Broadway, whatever it is, what would it be and what role would you want to play?
Goodness, that's such a good question. Oh my gosh.
And I guess I should say, what would be one of, what is one
Yeah.
of the roles?
Yeah, there are obviously many that I'd love to. But right now, and at least for the past little while in my life, I've been something that's really struck a chord with me is Come From Away.
Oh my gosh, such a good show.
Oh, good. I saw the pro shot. We had seen the show in Boston when it toured here, and we just saw the pro shot on Apple TV. It is absolutely breathtaking. And I would I would drop everything to play any role in that show.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. That show, I remember seeing it. It came to the Fox Theater here, and I think it was my mom and I went to go see it because sometimes my dad would go, sometimes my mom would. And I think I remember seeing that and just being like, I don't know what I expected. I expected it to be great, of course, but I was like, this is, oh my gosh, like it's so amazing. So I love hearing that because that is such a good show. All right, so now it is time for memory association. We've got a random word generator pulled up. We're going to see what comes to our mind first, what memory comes to our mind when we hear this word. So it looks like our random word for today is dine, like you're dining somewhere.
Okay.
Thinking of mine.
Mine.
Okay.
I've got mine. So
Okay.
mine is, I remember I must have been like 9 or 10. And I remember that my dad had gotten this like bonus or something at work. And so what my parents decided to do was all four of us went out for this like really fancy like dinner at this, there's a restaurant in Atlanta, like right in the heart of Atlanta, that the top of it like spins slowly. And I know, right? It's so cool. And so that's where we went. And I just remember the most vivid part is my dad decided to go really all out and he rented us a limo. And it was the craziest thing. I have this like short snippet of memory of like walking out, and there's a photo too of us from inside the limo and just being like, there is no way this is happening right now. And that was just, it was a really, really cool. I was so grateful that like they decided, or he decided to do something with all of us together. So yeah, that was my memory.
Yeah, I think mine has to be, so I haven't been to New York in a really long time.
Mhm.
Um, or at least in like, it's been quite a few years since I have. But a while ago for my 10th birthday, or 9th or 10th, one of those, we were going to around the time we were going to one of my dad's best friends was getting married, and so we were
Mhm.
going to the wedding. Um, and so for our birthday, they bought us tickets to see Hamilton. On Broadway that weekend while we were going to be up there. And I was so excited about that. And so we, we would go there a couple days before, and I begged them every day to let me go down to Broadway and like just see all the marquees. I thought it was the coolest thing. And I woke up the day I believe that we were going to see Hamilton, the matinee. And I woke up and my parents were like, come on, we have somewhere to take you. And so I was like, whoa, like this is way too early. Where are we going? And they took us to Ellen's Stardust Diner.
Oh
I
my
don't know if
gosh,
you've heard of it.
yes.
Yes. And um, where all like the waiters and waitresses sing, and it was the coolest thing. We got a whole bunch of like Broadway and Disney tunes. It was absolutely magical, and it was such a big surprise.
Oh my gosh, what a great story. Ellen Stardust Diner is so cool, and all of their waiters and waitresses are just so talented. It's amazing. That is so cool. Now I want to go back to New York. Now I want to visit. All right, so you have so many talents. What are you aspiring to be when you get older, when you're an adult?
So as I said, like I have a lot of interests, so it's hard for me to like pinpoint one thing, but a couple of the things that I really aspire to do with my life, one of which is I'd like to when I'm older, uh like run my own like full-fledged theater company and like have all the assets to have creative control over like productions. And
Yeah.
then also, of course, like performing on Broadway would be really cool.
That is so cool. That, yes, you'd be like an executive director of a theater. Wow, that is such a cool goal to have. And I think any of those programs make such a positive impact on so many people in whatever community it's in. And I think they're so powerful. So that is awesome. And I love too how you said you have so many different things that you want to do, because like you can do all of those things. There's nothing stopping you from doing more than one thing. It might take some balance, but you can do that. That is so great. So could you give some advice to those that are watching this? It could be career advice, life advice, whatever type of advice you want to give.
Yeah, so this is kind of like a general piece of advice, I guess, that I've been thinking about. And it's been something that's been getting me through this week actually, because I've been having a ton of rehearsals. I haven't been getting home until really late. And so the thing that is keeping me going right now is just telling myself that the most important thing is to just keep going. Like no matter what, you're gonna make mistakes. You're gonna miss the mark sometime, and sometimes you're gonna fall flat on your face. But you're going to be proud of yourself if you keep trying, and you're going to regret not continuing on, not continuing to try. So that would be my piece of advice: to keep going, keep pushing.
I love that advice. I love that so much. As you said too, there's no way to fail except to just stop. You
Yeah.
know, you can only fail by choosing to not go forth anymore. So I love that. And now out of curiosity, what show are you guys rehearsing?
A variety. I'm actually doing I'm doing All Together now. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's like you know, Music Theater International, right?
Yes.
They've created like a review for community theaters to perform for free. So
Oh,
I'm in that right now with with one theater company. I'm in Elf Junior again, ironically.
again.
I have been in it before, but I'm in it again. And I'm also in Little Women, which I'm also directing and producing
Oh
along
my
with
gosh.
a couple other people. Yeah.
That is amazing. Wow. Talk about already balancing everything that you do. Also, I love Little Women. Oh my goodness. Joe March is my person. She and I are very similar. That's awesome. So then kind of going off of that, when things do get tough, you know, what pushes you to keep going?
Yeah, I think when things get hard, the important thing is to remind yourself why you do what you do, because you wouldn't be putting yourself in that kind of situation, or you wouldn't have put yourself in that situation in the first place if you didn't want to. I obviously I have to balance school and activities and a whole lot of rehearsing, and it means a lot of late nights and a lot of early mornings and a lot of hard work. But I think knowing how much I enjoy being with and working with the people that I work with makes it all worth it for me in the end.
Yeah, I love that piece of advice. And absolutely, you wouldn't have put yourself in the position if there wasn't some part of you that was saying, I really want to do this, or this is what I want to do. So remembering that is can be very helpful. I absolutely agree. And so last question, where can people follow you or keep up with what you do?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm on Pinterest at Ryan underscore theater kid, theater with the RE. I'm very particular about that. You can keep up with my theater group that I run on our website, fftshows.wixsite.com/play. And then I also have a podcast/internet show coming out kind of soon, depending on logistics. It's called Gen Z on Gen Z. It's about the future of our generation and kind of trying to get younger people involved in the news and in activism and things like that. And so you'll be able to find that on Spotify and Apple Podcasts through Little News Ears. And the show will also be available on littlenewsears.com.
Wow. Oh my goodness. You just said you're in 3 shows and directing, producing one, and now there's a podcast that may be coming. That is so awesome. Well, I'm going to be sure to link all of those in the description of this video. And so thank you so much for being on the show. It has been so lovely to get to talk to you.
Honestly, you too. It's been kind of a dream. I'm living in a little bit of a little bit of a fangirl moment right now because it's like I've seen some of your films. I've like watched you on YouTube, and now I'm talking to you, and it's wild.
Well, that is, oh my gosh, thank you so much for your constant support, and it means so much to me. So I'm going to click stop on the recording, and we are going to head out of Zoom.
Awesome.
Thank you so much again for watching today. I really hope you enjoyed. If you did, feel free to click the subscribe button and the like button if you want, but no pressure. You can also follow us on Instagram at Breaking Characters Show. That's in the description below. And next week, I am so excited to have Farida Ayad on the show. I am truly so excited to speak with her, and I'm so excited. So thank you so much again for watching, and we will see you next Tuesday.